The most underrated tennis tactic is hitting behind them. And I say this because one, I don't hear this talked about too much online or on TV. And two, whenever I post videos about how I hit behind them or my opponent hits behind myself, I get these comments saying, why go there? Why hit behind them when the open space is so open, so wide open? And I got this comment on my Facebook page from Bobby here. He asked, why would a player hit back in his direction when more than half the court is open? Well, Bobby, this video is dedicated to you. In this video, I'll explain why you may need to hit behind them. And sometimes you may need to implement this tactic as an entire strategy for yourself, because there's a lot of players that are very fast and they could move very well to the wide open space, and they could hit these running forehands and running backhands, and this may be the only option you have available. So what is hitting behind them? Well, let's check out this point here. I'm the one serving, Andrew is the one returning. And when I serve out here out wide, I get a somewhat short, low ball here from Andrew. And notice how Andrew is now trying to recover back into the court. As he runs back, I go to this ball and I choose to hit a slice behind him, meaning I am literally hitting behind him as he runs to the open space here. So this ball travels pretty much where he was before, and I got a winner from that shot. So hitting behind them is a shot selection. You could go there or you could go to the open space, and I chose with hitting behind them in this particular point. And why is hitting behind them a good option to do? So let's back up here and let's check out what happened. So when I hit this slice here, notice that Andrew is shifting to his right. He's moving to his right. And so once he recognizes this, it's tough to stop and change direction to go here, right? So remember, when you're moving, right, let's back up a little bit more. When Andrew is moving here, he's already taking 1-2 steps and doing a side shuffle there. His momentum is going here, and once he recognizes, so at this point right here, he starts to recognize it's going behind him, it's tough to stop and just change direction going the other way. And remember, when you're moving, right, you're about to go faster and faster, right? So 1, 2, 3 steps, you're going faster and faster as you move. When you stop and you try to accelerate, that takes time. That takes time to just restart yourself. It's just like driving a car, right? When you're going 0 to 60 miles per hour, it doesn't take 1 second. It takes a few seconds to get that engine rolling and get to top speed. So whenever you stop, to get to top speed again, you have to run another 2-3 steps to get there. And it's all about timing. Hitting behind a person is all about timing your own shot and timing the player's movement, your opponent's movement. And that is why hitting behind them is such a great play, especially against these fast players. Andrew is a very fast player. He could run side to side. And so hitting behind them is a great option. So there are 3 situations where you can hit behind them. And here's Daniel here. Here's me as the returner. And I call this Scramble Mode. So Scramble Mode is basically where your opponent is scrambling, just trying to get back into the court, and your opponent is very defensive. So here Daniel serves to me out wide. And it was a very good serve, very deep serve, and I'm pulled off court. And I'm nowhere to be seen. I'm off the screen here. And so when I hit this ball, I'm still off the court here. Now I'm getting back into it, and I am turned. So I'm just trying to run back to the court. I'm very defensive, and I'm just trying to scramble back, right? I'm in scramble mode. I'm trying to get back. Daniel here chooses to hit behind me, and he pretty much hit to the same spot where I was, and it's tough. Once you are turned like this, it's tough to readjust and turn your whole body the other way and try to accelerate the other way as well. And so this was a very good play, and I just couldn't get to that ball. I had to twist my body around. This is a good way to get injured too, so be careful. I just couldn't get that ball back. So very good shot by Daniel hitting behind me. In the second situation, I call this guess mode. So here's me serving. Daniel's the one returning. And when I serve this ball, I get a return from Daniel that is very hard and deep. And I just popped up this backhand short ball here. And so he has all the time in the world to make another decision here with this shot. He could go behind me. He could go to the open space. He has plenty of time. He could read a book or drink a cup of coffee before he makes this shot. And so I call this guess mode simply because I am recovered, right? I'm not scrambling. I'm not really running. But because he has all the time in the world, I'm pretty much guessing where he's going to go. He could go this way. He could go that way. And Daniel probably notices that I'm shifting to my right. As a defender, that's pretty much the natural way to go. You're going to the open space. And Daniel opts to go behind me. And there's nothing I can do, right? I'm split stepping to the right. My momentum is going to the right. And I see this ball pass by me. So great shot by Daniel here with this forehand drive. In the last situation here, I call this neutral mode, where pretty much both players are in a neutral rally. So let's check this out. I'm the one at the far end. Here's Daniel, and when Daniel hits this shot here, I'm going with a backhand down the line. So when I hit this backhand down the line, it wasn't a great shot. It wasn't a terribly bad shot, but I still call this a neutral rally. So both players are in neutral mode. This is a neutral rally. No one's on offense. No one's really on defense. But Daniel here is about to choose to go on offense, and he's going to go straight behind me. So notice that I'm recovering back to the center here. My momentum is going to my right, and Daniel's going to hit this forehand drive up the line while I'm recovering back to the center, and it was well played here. He went behind me, and there's nothing I can do there. And so you see this more at the pro level. They're trying to go behind them because a lot of players are very fast. They're very agile, and you can't really always go to the open space. And this one is pretty tough. At the recreational level, you hit behind them definitely when your opponent's scrambling, when they're on the defensive. But do you hit this off of a neutral rally? Maybe not as often, but if you're playing good players, this may be a tactic that you need to use. Let's take another example off of a neutral rally here. So I'm the one returning. Navneet's the one on the near end. So when I hit this ball, he travels out here and hits this forehand. And again, I would interpret this as a neutral rally. Navneet here is recovering back to the center. But I am choosing here to hit this inside out backhand drive. So I'm going offensive on this neutral rally, and I'm going straight here behind him. So watch this ball, watch this drive. And again, if you can time this very well with the ball striking and your player's movement, it's very tough again for that person to go change direction and go to that ball, right? So Navneet's shifting, trying to recover back to the open space here. And once you split step to that open space, it's pretty much, the point's over once you hit behind them, because it's tough. You have to recognize this, and you have to accelerate to that space here. And if you don't do that quickly enough, this ball is going to be a winner. So obviously, you need to mix it up, right? You can't always hit behind them. You can't always hit to the open space. You got to mix up both. But if you're playing these fast players who can run side to side, hit these blistering running forehands out wide or running backhands, you're going to have to implement this strategy of hitting behind them. And it's going to be tough. You have to hit it early enough. You have to time the player's movement. But you see this often a lot in professional matches. I particularly remember the Emma Raducanu versus Leylah Fernandez match on the women's 2021 US Open. They were always hitting behind each other, trying to take the ball early. And, it's really tough, even at the professional level, to change direction, to stop and change direction. So don't overlook this tactic of hitting behind the person. It may be your only tactic to win against these fast players. If you enjoyed this video, kindly do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.